Next up, let's talk about Jett's ability Tailwind. This is Jett's signature ability where she can instantly dash across an area. What most new players don't know about Tailwind though is that you can actually adjust the direction in which you can dash from. Normally you can hit W and place your crosshair in the direction that you want to dash from, but there will be times where you may want to go another direction, and this ability actually has that covered. If you hit the other movement keys just as left, right, or back and then use Tailwind, you'll be able to dash in those directions instead rather than forward. You can also combine these direction keys to go off at an angle. Tailwind can be a great ability to use to outmaneuver enemies and catch them from multiple angles. Do note though that after using Tailwind there is a bit of delay before you can shoot your weapon, in which enemies can easily pick you off. So when using this ability, make sure you dash to an area where enemies aren't at, or dash into a position where it'll be difficult for enemies to adjust their crosshair to get to you. Taking another step further, with good coordination, your teammates can push onto the site as well while you dash onto the other half of the map. If the timing is right, the enemies will end up focused on where you dashed over and will try to adjust their aim towards you. This actually is great, as the other 4 members of the team can then focus onto those enemies that ended up distracted by your movement and will have easy kills handed to them. You can also use Tailwind as an escape route when you're in an exposed position. For example, when playing on the C site, you could play a position such as back containers. If the enemies find out you're playing there though, they may throw abilities at you such as a Brimstone ultimate or Sova ultimate, as well as a Molotov. This will normally force a player to run away and expose themselves to C long, where they can get easily killed. Instead with Jett though, you can actually just use Tailwind to dash out of that situation and keep yourself safe. Likewise, Jett's Tailwind can be combined with Updraft to really catch enemies off guard with her mobility. There are 2 ways you can do this. First, you can use Updraft to rise up in the air and then dash forward with Tailwind. The other way is the reverse of this sequence, where you use Tailwind first and then immediately use Updraft. The latter is more commonly used as it creates more of a sweeping motion that can really catch players off guard. This particularly works well with shotguns, as you can use Tailwind to close the gap between you and the enemy and then follow it up with Updraft to get up in the air and use the close range accuracy of the shotgun to get a frag. Now that you can see how effectively this combo can be used with shotguns, I will note that you want to be cautious using this combination with other weapons such as an operator or rifle. These weapons won't be nearly as accurate while you're in the air, and as a result you may have a tough time killing enemies this way and could potentially end up being a free frag for the enemy instead. Lastly, one of the unique aspects of Tailwind is that it can break Cypher's trap wires. This is another reason that you want to be one of the first players in when playing Jett. If you're entering a site that's been protected with trap wires, Jett can simply dash through and break them, thus allowing the rest of the team to safely push onto the site without worry of being trapped and having their position exposed to being wallbanged.